just how many homes are paid in full? In other words, what percentage of homes do not carry a mortgage? Welcome to Dre's Take. Hey folks, Andre Sells FL here, coming to you from the mothership this afternoon. As I tighten up some files and do some admin work, I wanted to take a little time to give you some interesting news in yet another round of Dre's Take. And this week we've got some interesting statistics around the percentage of homes that are paid in full or no longer carry a mortgage. And somewhat surprisingly, the number's quite higher than you'd think. With housing costs rising and taking up a larger portion of folks' household income and rising inflation, one would assume we're in a very dangerous or precarious place when it comes to people defaulting on their mortgages. Well, you might be surprised to know that nationally, 27.7% of homes are paid in full, have no mortgage. Even more interesting is the state of Florida has a higher percentage of homes that are paid off than the national average, with 29.7% of Florida homes being paid in full. That means that over a quarter of the homes nationally and almost a third of the homes in the state of Florida carry no mortgage, which means there's an incredibly low risk of foreclosure on almost a third of the homes in the state of Florida. This is just one more bit of insight that allows us to confidently say a housing collapse or crash is incredibly far from likely. Obviously, we've all heard the statistics around mortgages that have incredibly low interest rates thanks to the 2020 through 2022 mortgage rate environment where everybody rushed to buy a home and folks that owned homes rushed to refinance into the incredibly low rates. That number is somewhere around 80% of all mortgages have interest rates less than 5%, meaning those payments are incredibly manageable, especially at a time where unemployment is steady at about 3.7%. The likelihood of default on those homes is incredibly low as well. So this new bit of information to know that a quarter of all homes in the United States have virtually no risk of default because there's no mortgage, and almost 30% of the homes in the state of Florida also carry the same extremely low risk, create one more layer of certainty that a housing collapse is extremely unlikely. Overall sales volume may be slow due to the heightened interest rates, but with low inventory and so many folks being in either paid off homes or extremely low interest rate mortgages, allowing folks to stay put longer reduces the amount of new listings coming on board, keeping the inventory situation quite tight and offsetting any concerns over the low sales volume. Naturally, you'd think less people buying would increase supply, and too much supply would cause pricing to come down. But we're seeing just the opposite. Even though overall sales activity is slow, there's not a whole lot of new listings coming on market. And it's keeping kind of an equilibrium or a balance, so to speak, where values are essentially maintaining, actually growing slightly in most areas, and keeping the overall health of the housing market intact. As rates come down throughout the year and headed into 2025, that'll exacerbate sales activity, yet we'll still have the inventory crunch, and we will see pricing appreciation at a much faster pace once again. Sorry to the doom and gloomers. And sorry to my millennial and Gen Z friends that are hoping for that crash so that they can pick up a 4-bed, 3-bath home for pennies on the dollar. It's just not gonna happen. What you can do is get into a home of your dreams now with limited competition, refinance when rates drop, and continue on with your life, building equity in a new home for you and your family. If that's something I can help with, you already know. Give me a call. Always happy to help. As always, I hope this brings you a good bit of value and better insight into what's going on in the real estate market. Until next week, that's Dre's Take. All right, y'all. Take care.